Chicago, Illinois. Tonight it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense heading out, led by Mitchell Trubisky, a Pro Bowler last year in 2018. And, of course, the number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2017. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
On third down, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. O'Shane Ximines in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Rodgers now on 1st down. That's complete to Gallman. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now it's Rodgers. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired up, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Wayne Gallman, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Gallman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Rodgers now to throw. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
First down, a run with Cohen. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Calais Campbell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. B.J. Hill able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Giants. Roses to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Mitchell Trubisky on his way out, the subject of our players' spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they're doing something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And that will come the offense as they take over. Time here to remind you that coming up later tonight on Sunday Night Football, it's the Seahawks and the Eagles from Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And then tomorrow night on Monday night, more Birds with the Ravens involved in that one. Sadly not taking on the Cardinals or Falcons, though. Instead, they'll match up with the Rams in L.A. They'll begin with a run by Gallman. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning.
At the 26-yard line.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The throw over the middle, taken in. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rodgers. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Rodgers again now. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a 1st down there to the tight end.
And I think the ball's out, and this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter.
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Now Rodgers. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will do it for this 1st half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford.
2nd half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 yards and a giant 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And a loss of 3 to bring up fourth.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Trubisky to throw. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
All that only nets him a yard. It's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Just like that. Just like that.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. They'll find Miller. That's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And that is going to be incomplete. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, 50. Hey, Alpha.
From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is a beauty as that ball is going to angle out at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And this is going to be a safety as Trubisky gets swallowed up in the end zone. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And New York set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that.
He's got daylight. The 30. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the 1st. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Calais Campbell racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Trubisky. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Trubisky now, the throw on 3rd down. Finding Gabriel, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he can't get away from the pressure, the Giants get there. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing here, Trubisky. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzling me a little bit.
Now Gallman, and an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now left side on the swing pass. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Now it's Trubisky. He's got Burton here. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Trubisky now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this